let's talk a little bit about the four-wheel drive capabilities of the Prado. Some numbers you need to know to basically help you out when you're off-road. Again, forgive me just checking my notes because there's a few numbers I've got to talk to you about here. Number one, what's the ground clearance? Ground clearance on the Prado is 230 millimeters. That's pretty good. If you're going into the water, no, we're not today, that's for sure. But the wading depth on the Prado is 700 millimeters. I think out there is going to be a bit deeper than that, so we won't try that. 700 millimeters wading depth. And then we have, when you're in the really rough stuff going off-road, approaching rocky climbs and descents and all this sort of stuff, tough, rough tracks, you need to know the angles of which the car can actually operate at. And the first up is the approach angle. In other words, when I look down the front here, down here, the angle that you come into and approaching the obstacle you're going to drive over. And that angle is 30.4 degrees. The ramp over angle, like when you go over the top of the Humpty Doo or the hill or crest over, between the wheels, the maximum angle is 21.1 degrees. And finally, when you come down the descent and level out, the departure angle at the back, this angle here, is 23.5 degrees. Pretty capable vehicle all up and can go most places. The other thing you need to consider is some of the gear you'll need when you go off-road. We're on the beach, so what have I brung with me? My tread boards. In case I get stuck in the sand, I can use them to dig out a little bit. I can put them under the wheels and get some traction to lift myself up and out of the sand and keep going. The most important thing though when beach driving, in this vehicle or any four-wheel drive for that matter, is actually tyre pressure. You can let the tyres down with a stick or whatever. You need a tyre pressure gauge to know where you need to go to. I find a good rule of thumb of what pressure you should take them down for beach driving. It's about 18 psi, maybe a little bit lower, but because this is a heavy vehicle, I was actually lowered it down to 15 psi today. But once you lower it down, when you get off the beach, you need a compressor to pump them back up again. So don't forget the compressor. Not going to be a good day if you do that. But they're great cars. Takes you out to beautiful places like this that you can only get to in a four-wheel drive and enjoy beautiful days like this out here. This is what a four-wheel drive and a Prado is all about.